Welcome, everyone. We're so excited about this, our first webinar to help people learn more about emotional superpowers. And we want you to know what our theme is and what you're going to expect today and on future webinars. And this will be about 15 minutes, right, Pam?
Yep, we're just making it short and sweet.
Yeah, so this is Pam, my wonderful, amazing collaborator on a project that has been coming together for decades.
Sure.
And here it is, and we are thrilled that you want to be a part of this and want to learn more about it. This is our theme. Tomorrow's leaders will be those who have learned to manage emotion with wisdom. They will lead fearlessly with compassion, empathy, confidence, and power as they embrace a new light of awareness and hope.
I love that. You know, as we're talking about emotional superpowers, we're really talking about helping children be able to understand the importance of their emotions and emotional social skills. And as we talk about those emotional superpowers, each time we gather, we will be addressing emotional health concepts and giving parents little tidbits that they can use in their own homes. Today, we are going to continue with our little PowerPoint here and show you some information that we feel like might help you with some of this, and they're going to figure out how to get the next slide on. There we go, because we're just trying to get it to move. There we go. Okay, we are going to be talking about emotional intelligence. So every time we gather, we're going to give a few emotional health concepts about emotional intelligence. We're going to focus on a superpower from the book, and we're going to give you some tidbits, maybe stories, or share some of the good news that's happening in people's homes and celebrate the expansion of our awareness and our emotional intelligence. So today, here as we look at the slide, we're talking about emotional literacy. Emotional literacy is the ability to read your own emotional state as well as those around you in your homes or in spaces where you're working with people. So awareness of attitude and mood. And an attitude is a set of beliefs that influence behaviors and responses in everyday living. So it's what you bring to the table and your approach to the circumstances around you. Mood is a reflection of internal belief systems that have been established through life, that you might be responding to something more internal as you're approaching what's going on with your feelings and your belief systems, and that's more an internal reflection of where we are. So when we look at emotional superpowers, Rochelle's going to take just a minute and talk about how to make these emotional superpowers easy.
We really want this to be something very, very simple that everyone and anyone can do at their own level of knowledge and availability to tools. And so we've made these tools very, very easy. First of all, this is our book.
Yes.
And inside the book, you'll find what you can see now on the screen. And that is 1, 2, 3, choose it, live it, and give it. And as you can see, our choosing it is about choosing emotional superpowers that help you manage mood and emotion in healthy ways. And a lot of these things really don't even make any sense as far as the fact that they are our gifts and our powers and that we have the right and the ability to strengthen them and to utilize them in our pursuit of happiness and in our pursuit to help families feel more peaceful and in control and growing in their own right. So number one, you would choose your emotional superpower that helps you manage mood and emotion. And number two, you would live in that wisdom. And we have this book packed full of all kinds of wise and healthy and very understandable ways for adults, parents, even teachers in a classroom setting, to help a child, and including their inner child, to understand what's happening in their inner world. And so we recommend that you choose it, and then you live in wisdom by utilizing the tools that are in the book. You identify, and this is what I love so much about Pam's languaging, is she has come up with a language that really helps children understand what's happening inside of them, and they can put words to it, colors to it, and we'll talk a lot more about that in the future. So she talks about those what we would reference as maybe negative feelings as heavy feelings, because no emotion is good or bad. All emotions have a message for us. And so you can identify those heavy and light emotions and access the whole brain, which is our whole mission.
That's
Is to
right.
help people access their whole self, their whole brain, and show children how to be treated and responsive in their whole self, and to create happiness.
We love that.
And number 3, we hope that you would then give that to the children, to families and communities, to learn to give it or share it.
Beautiful. I love that. A true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. I think when we approach emotions and our emotional states, understanding that there is strength in our emotions and how we use them, and learning how to manage them, and understanding that we are in charge of those feelings and those emotions based on our thoughts and our thinking, and giving children and adults a way to have some power over some of those heavy emotions so they don't feel so helpless or hijacked by the heavy emotions. I think we want to teach skills and bring this into the homes of all people, where they can understand that even though shame and guilt and apathy and sadness are low frequency vibrational emotions, that there are things that we can do to elevate ourselves, to move to love, compassion, gratitude, enlightenment, and truth, by recognizing that just because we're feeling a feeling doesn't make it true, and that we can actually change some of those feelings by changing our thoughts. Our main message today is, if you'll go to the next one, is to understand that the book has 14 emotional superpowers with stories, meditations, guided visualizations that can help us learn how to create an environment internally and externally with gratitude and joy, and being able to really experience those high frequency emotions.
And we've listed those tools in a really simple way to follow. Our super smells, our yoga, and our journaling are our core tools, and we're very excited to present these in a way that children understand. In fact, can I just tell that little story about Valdine?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I think that's like the perfect example of how we can become. I want to show you his picture in here. How we can help children understand what's happening and then give them the tools that really make a difference in their lives. This is Valdine, and Valdine has dwarfism, and he is in pain every day of his life and will be probably the rest of his life. And he has some issues socially with being bullied. And so when he came to take for this photo shoot, we were really excited to help Valdine learn that he had some superpowers that maybe he hadn't developed and maybe wasn't even aware of. And in fact, as he read through the book, we had him take this photo, and when we showed it to him, he was so thrilled. Oh. And he read through the book, he worked the process, he really became familiar with these exercises and these skills. And then one day his mother started chatting with him because he had just finished the book Wonder, about a little boy who really struggled with some deformity, born with some deformity, and those were hard things. And his mom really helped him learn this self-love. And so as his mother chatted with him, Valdine said, "Mom, this couldn't be a true story. There's nobody who would be treated this badly." And his mom said, "Valdine, it is a true story. It's based on a true story." And And Valdine, don't you sometimes have those experiences? Don't sometimes people stare at you, and that's kind of an uncomfortable feeling. When have you had those experiences? He said, Mom, I do, but nothing like what this boy went through. And Mom, I want you to know that I have some strength in this. I know how to manage this. And Mom, I would trade places with that boy. I would trade places and help him, if I could, to help him feel more loved and safer in his life. And this is what we want to have happen for children everywhere. Children in every family, whether they struggle with something big or just everyday difficulties that all children experience, we want to empower them with a shield and with the ability, these superpowers that they know they can turn to, and these tools that they can turn to at any time.
That is so beautiful. I love what you shared. And Valdine really is a bright light on the planet, helping us to all understand how to respect and love each other to greater capacity. And that starts in our own home. Our message today, as we are kind of focusing on the very first emotional superpower of our book, is what is your emotional superpower? Valdine's in that moment was compassion. I know that as we start to recognize our strengths and our gifts in ourselves and in others, we start to be less focused on what we aren't doing and those weaknesses and we're not as judgmental and critical, and we're actually watching and focusing on the positive in ourselves and the positive in those around us. We want to encourage you this week, as you are focusing on emotional superpowers, you're going to want to get the book or the whole program in a bundle on our website at emotionalsuperpowers.com. You'll be able to gather your own little family around you, read the pages, and you'll be able to, in the bundle, that comes with a poster where you can actually hang it up on the wall. And
we love those posters so much. We have them in our own house, in our own rooms.
And as a family, when someone praises or acknowledges a thank you or is living the emotional superpower that they're working on on that day or during that week, you put a sticker right here underneath which superpower you have been focusing on. And as we up level our thinking, the environment in our homes becomes more loving, safe. It becomes more empowered to manage some of the contention and the negative feelings. So our challenge to you today is to praise. Praise yourself, show it to your children, and model to your children that it's okay to pat yourself on the back. I did a good job. I did the best I could. It was good enough. And then do that with your children and your spouses. Use your words to create an environment that's loving and safe in your own home. That is empowering your superpowers and the superpowers of those around you.
We're excited to be on this mission, and we're going to show you, oh my, I hope I have it on here.
Can we find it on that computer really quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Give us just a second because we want to.
Michelle's going to work on being able to share a song with you while I just explain a little bit more about the superpowers in our book. As you're praising, using your words, there's lots of different tools in the book. We offer affirmations, music, activities that have to do with coloring, journaling, mindfulness, awareness, and using the whole brain. And we want you to join with us and gather every week and gain some of this information about emotional superpowers so that you can become stronger in your own homes.
So, will this show just fine this way? Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't have this embedded the way we'd hoped to, but here we go. And you can find this on YouTube at My Own Superhero, a Shauna Edwards song.
When I feel alone or afraid, and nothing is going my way, or when I'm just running a little low on faith, I just gotta believe there's power and courage in me. And whatever happens, through good days and bad ones, I will stand and say, I can climb this mountain, I can brave the storm, I can be amazing. There's no telling now how far I'll go. When this day needs saving, it starts with me, I know. So I will move, I will rise, I will choose, I will try to be my own superhero. And I'll be a light in the dark. I'll do the right thing when it's hard. I'll reach out my hand if we start to drift apart. When you need my help, I'll be there. 'Cause real superpowers are meant to be shared. We're brighter together and stronger than ever, hand in hand and heart to heart. I can climb this mountain, I can brave the storm, I can be amazing. There's no telling now how far I'll go. When this day needs saving, it starts with me, I know. So I will move, I will rise, I will choose, I will try to be my own superhero. Never give up, I'll never give in. And each time I fall, I will rise again. When this day needs saving, it starts with me, I know. So I will move, I will rise, I will choose, I will try to be my own superhero. Oh, I will be my own superhero.
Beautiful. We love this song so much, and it really embraces our message. And hopefully you feel inspired and empowered to focus on the good, in you and in those around you, and to verbalize that and to reflect that back to them. That can help us. That's a good place for us to start. Each week we'll be working on emotional superpowers. Next time we'll be working on comfort code and love, and how to help meet the needs of our children, and how to help them get their needs met by using words instead of behaviors. We also have some future classes coming up and some bulk buying. If you are interested in buying the books or the bundles for a cheaper price, watch for that on our website. Again, emotionalsuperpowers.com. And just know that Rochelle and I adore you, and we are so excited to bring this movement forward.
See you soon.